I'm Robin Kurian, and you are watching Run It with Robin. I am here in Harlem at the National Black Theater, where I'm about to interview the daughter of the legendary comedian Richard Pryor. Her name is Rain Pryor, and she's going to be doing a one-woman show. So let's go inside and chat it up with her. One-woman show. You're playing 11 different characters. Yes. Close family members, like
Some of them are close, yes. Like my grandmother, my dad, both my grandmothers, my mom, and then people I went to high school with.
What made you come up with the name Fried Chicken and Latkes?
Well, being the fact that I'm black and also Jewish by heritage, I just thought it was an appropriate combination of food. Yeah. And the show has nothing to do with food, by the way.
Well, are you nervous this time around with this show? Because it's like the world premiere, it's New York City.
I'm very nervous because there's so much that's different from the way it used to be done. Like just even today, like we opened for previews on Tuesday, and even today we cut something out. Do you know what I mean? And added something else in its place.
Very last minute.
Yeah. So it's like inside I'm like,
You actually showed your dad. You performed.
I do.
You performed him.
Yes.
To him before he had passed.
Yeah, because I needed permission. I do him in the show, so I needed to make sure, like, is it okay that I do you in the show? Like, I wouldn't want him to be like, no, you know, so, yeah.
And you wanted to kind of, like, just make sure, like, am I on point with, you know, being you, playing you? You know?
Absolutely, yeah. And he said yes.
There will be no punk rockers in this house! Dad, there are hookers in this house! Okay, you win.
You know, and it's fun to also not just bring him to life because of he was my dad, but to bring him to life for the audience, to kind of get to go, oh, I see him as a dad, but I also see him as a performer.
Do you ever want to create a movie about your dad yourself?
I would. I think that the kids in general, I think, you know, especially the older generation of my dad's children, we knew him, we lived with him, you know, we know the good and the bad of him. And I think a lot of people, I think it would be interesting to show my dad as a dad, and also what he struggled with as a performer, being a dad and everything else that made him who he is. And again, like I said, part of, you know, my tradition and also my spiritual belief is honoring our ancestors and not disparaging them. Who needs to replay all the things my dad said about himself on stage? I mean, that's the greatest thing. Before there was internet, my dad was his own.
He said it himself.
Right. And we're that way. I mean, as his kids, we have a tendency to say too much, you know, to people, and we're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that part. You know?
Girl, I'm like that too. Speaking of stand-up, have you ever dated a comedian?
I've dated 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 long term.
Okay.
And this after Dad has told me never ever date comedians. He said they're crazy. He goes, they're self-obsessed. I was like, I mean, they're like you.
I know. It's like, what are you trying to say, Dad?
And he was like, yeah, they are like me. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
You carry the baggage of your parents no matter what, that you do. And so let's say right now I'm a mom, so it's my responsibility to leave Lotus with less baggage than I ever had.
Yeah.
So that she can live out her destiny or her life. And so that's what I'm trying you know, to do now.
I think you're doing it really well, Rain. I think so.
She's going to be my new bestie.
I mean, you wear a lot of hats. You're an actress, comedian, author, you know, activist.
Yes.
I mean, how do you handle all this, and a mother?
You know, mom is my primary job. That's how I look at it. That's my primary thing in life, is to be a mom. And I love it. And then the other hats fit in where I need them.
Now, for those that are coming to the show, what do you want them to leave with from watching this?
I want them to leave with a sense of we still have work to do as far as race and injustice is concerned. The show is about me growing up being black and Jewish, but it's really not just about me. It's coming of age. It's like someone said to me today, I feel also your show is the father and daughter relationship, and that amends and like coming out and becoming your own person. And there's a scene where my mom says to me, look at this, Rain. Do you see this? I marched with Martin Luther King Jr., Rain. And I find myself at the end of the show, I'm saying the same thing to Lotus, basically. And it's about Freddie Gray. Do you see this? Do you see this? This is why your grandmother.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So
wow.
It's all coming full circle. So as much as we've progressed forward as black folk, we still have a lot we need to do. So I hope when people walk away that they realize, you know, there's a lot of things about ourselves we have to face.
Rain, I had so much fun with you. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. June 2nd to June 28th is the show Fried Chicken and Latkes.
Yes.
Yes.
And be there or be square.